So we'll go ahead and begin the meeting. It is 6:01. Welcome, everyone. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. It is now time for the oaths of office to the newly declared trustees. I would ask that the trustees rise as the clerk administers your oath.
Okay, so all of everybody?
I meant the two of them, but we're all standing. It's all
okay.
The two of who?
The two that were
that were
sworn.
recently
Yeah, but
elected.
that's fine. We can all stand.
We can all be here.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
We're all taking it, right?
Sure, if you want to. Go ahead and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee
of Lakeland Joint School District
of Lakeland Joint School District number 272
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
You're in.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You will be seated. Okay, just like to remind everyone that these board meetings are our business meetings held in public and not public board meetings. This also happens to be our annual meeting. The board is governed by Idaho Code Title 74 and Title 33, Chapter 5, Idaho Administrative Procedures Act, or IDAPA, and follows the district policies. Public input. Is there any other? Thank you. Is there anyone that hasn't filled out a form to speak to the board that would like to speak to the board? Okay. First being Suzanne Gallus. Okay. Next is Anita Dupsik.
Good evening, Chair Thompson and trustees. Anita Dupsik, Rathdrum. Seating a new board is always interesting, even if it's only one seat. There's a new dynamic that needs to be figured out amongst you guys. 1 Timothy 2, 1 and 2 says, "Therefore, I exhort first of all that all supplications, prayers, intercessions, and giving of thanks be made for all men, for kings and all who are in authority, that we may lead quiet and peaceable life in all godliness and reverence." Thank you for serving this community. I know it's seldom easy. One of the most important things this community can do is pray for you and ask that you are given guidance as you lead Lakeland. Sometimes guidance will come from your patrons, and I'm so thankful that you guys are approachable either with text or phone calls or email, and you always have guidance from God when you ask. 1 Isaiah 32, 1 and 2 says, "Behold, a king will reign in righteousness, and princes will rule with justice. Each will be a shelter from the wind, a refuge from the storm, like streams of water in a dry land, like the shadow of a great rock in arid land." No, you're not kings or princes, but you are the authority for Lakeland, deciding curriculum, policy, discipline, hiring, and spending. Our students are going out into a world that is very stormy, and your guidance for this district will have an impact on their preparedness. Attending board meetings shows that it's never easy, either from your seats or from the perspective of parents. Thank you.
Thank you. I will ask one more time, is there anyone that would like to address the board that didn't have an opportunity to fill out a form to do so? Okay, I'll now turn the meeting over to Mr. Taylor, Superintendent of the district.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will be taking nominations for board chair. Do I have any nominations?
I would like to nominate myself.
Ms.
So everyone knows there's ballots, I guess, in the Alumni Dynasty.
I'll go ahead and nominate Michelle Thompson.
Thank you, Trustee Griswold. Are there any further nominations? Let's proceed to vote. Once you're done, Sierra, we're collecting votes. We'll read the tallies. Thank you, Sierra. First vote is for Trustee Bain. Second vote is, Michelle Thompson. Thank you. Next vote is for Trustee Thompson. Next vote is for Trustee Thompson. And the final vote is for Trustee Thompson. Trustee Thompson is our chair.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I'll now be taking nominations for vice chair.
I'll nominate myself.
I will-
Go ahead.
I will nominate myself.
We have two nominations. We have Trustee Grissom and we have Trustee Bain. Proceed to vote. Yeah, kind of confused me, by the way.
That's all right.
Thanks. First vote is for Trustee Grissom. Second vote is for Trustee Grissom. Third vote is for Trustee Grissom. Fourth vote is for Trustee Bain. The final vote is for Trustee Grissom. Congratulations, Trustee
Thank you.
Grissom.
Thank you. All right, first item of business is to appoint the district treasurer. Do we have any nominations for the district treasurer?
Jessica Grantham.
Jessica
Second.
Grantham?
Second.
Okay. So we have Jessica Grantham as a nomination and a second from Trustee Quimby and Trustee Bain. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moving on to Resolution 1.7.206, that provides for the appointment of assistant treasurers and designated signatories for each respective school. Do we have any conversation to be had on this resolution?
I move to approve as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moving on to the appointment of the clerk of the board for the trustees. Do we have a nomination for that?
I move to appoint Sierra.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. We need to appoint a temporary clerk in the absence of the clerk of the board. Do we have any nominations for that?
I'll move to appoint Olivia as clerk, temporary clerk of the board in the absence of the clerk.
Second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moving on to the appointment of custodian of records. Is there a nomination for the custodian of records?
I'll nominate Sarah.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moving on to set the date, time, and location of the regular board meetings. Do we want to hold conversation about the fact that we currently hold them on the first and third? We hold them currently on the third Wednesdays of the month. Are we wanting to move from the third of the month? The third Wednesday of the month, is there another day that works for everyone's schedule? What do we want to do with that?
I like Wednesdays.
You like Wednesdays, okay?
I'll just put it
I'm
down,
good.
yeah.
All
With
right.
Wednesday.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Now, in the past, last year, we also accounted for the special meetings that we hold on the first Wednesday of the month. Is that something that we still want to do, or do we not?
You mean
Because if,
third Wednesday, you mean?
no, this, having a second meeting on the first Wednesday, if we want to adopt a schedule for special meetings on the first Wednesday, we can. There is language that was recommended be included in the motion so that if we
So
are
we can
going to
cancel
cancel
it?
them, we
Yeah.
can. But what would we like to do? I mean, the second meetings are, it's an ebb and flow whether they're busy or not. So I don't want to get us back into that position where we're here for 4 hours for a board meeting because everything comes. What does everyone want to do?
I think it's worked
Yeah.
pretty well this year.
Okay,
I think it's worked better than previous options that we've tried, so.
I would agree.
So I would, my motion would be to keep it the way we've been doing it, but with the appropriate wording for the
Okay.
motion. That
All right, so you would move that we would hold our regular meetings on the third Wednesday of the month, with a special meeting being held on the first Wednesday of the month, with an understanding that the board reserves the right to cancel a meeting should it be necessary. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Ooh, we did not include time or location of those board meetings.
Time 6 p.m. and location district office.
Sounds like a plan. Okay. If everyone can take out their code of ethics.
Chairman Thompson, I don't know if it makes a difference when we approve the agenda. Or to approve the agenda.
You're right, good call. Can I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, both by trustee Quimby and trustee Bain. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. No, thank you for the catch. Okay. In the past, we've round robin this. We've also just taken a moment of silence to read through them. What would we want to do now that you've already signed it?
Sign
He's an
away.
overachiever.
Anything from anybody?
I mean, I think we've already read through them, maybe,
every year.
We've read through them
With the
and adopted
exception
them
of-
and.
Yeah,
Modified them and
with the
read through them
exception
again.
of trustee Broadhead.
Yes. Trustee Broadhead, would you like us to round robin read them, or are you feeling confident that you understand the code of ethics?
I hate to go through them.
Okay. Would you like us to take a moment and go through them? Okay, you can do that. Trustee Grissom, can you start us off?
Sure. This is actually policy 1600, the Board of Trustees Code of Ethics for school board members. The first being ethics for school board members. As a member of the board, I shall promote the best interests of the district as a whole, and to that end shall adhere to the following ethical standards.
On to you, Dave.
Equity and attitude. I will be fair, just, and impartial in all my decisions and actions. I will accord others the respect I wish for myself. I will encourage expression of different opinions and listen with an open mind to other ideas.
Trustworthiness and stewardship. I will be accountable to the public by representing district policies, programs, priorities, and progress accurately. I will be responsive to the community by seeking its involvement in district affairs and by communicating its priorities and concerns. I will work to ensure prudent and accountable use of district resources. I will make no personal promise or take private actions that may compromise my performance of my responsibilities.
Honor and conduct. I will tell the truth. I will share my views while working for consensus. I will respect the majority decision as the decision of the board. I will base my decisions on fact rather than supposition, option, or opinion, or public favor.
Integrity of character. I will refuse to surrender judgment to any individual or group at the expense of the district as a whole. I will consistently uphold all applicable laws, rules, policies, and governance procedures. I will keep confidential information that is privileged by law or that will needlessly harm the district if disclosed. I will announce any conflicts of interest before board action is taken.
Commitment to service. I will focus my attention on fulfilling the board's responsibilities of goal setting, policy making, and evaluation. I will diligently prepare for and attend board meetings. I will seek continuing education that will enhance my ability to fulfill my duties effectively. Student-centered focus. I will be continuously guided by what is best for all students in the district. And then there's reference to a couple more policies, 1120, taking office, 1120P, which is the procedural for the oath of office, which the clerk read earlier, and then 1240 is the duties of individual trustees.
Are there any questions or concerns on these? Okay.
I'll just take the folders now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have all my notes. I mean, unless you know it.
Yeah.
They're pretty old.
You have this. Okay.
Do you need this one?
Yeah. I'll just take your whole thing.
Did
You
you
did.
sign the,
Not
okay,
yet.
go ahead and
I didn't
sign
know if it had
that.
to be done in a certain,
No, I hear you. Oh, wait, no, I think that's for a notary, yeah.
I'll notarize
So,
it.
Okay.
yeah.
I do. I don't know. Are you going to say?
I don't know. Could be someone different.
Okay.
I should check out these. One of these check mine.
No, I always check people before I notarize. Even if I know, I can just jot it down in a little book.
I don't even think I did like check mine.
To notarize? Really? Interesting.
And I read it quickly.
All right, moving into reports. First up, we have the superintendent report. Shall we have any conversation? I do have some questions, but we'll open it up for conversation first. All right, my first question is under your PST meeting updates.
Yep.
You make this, you state coaches' pay schedules requested by DO continuing discussion. Again, are these current year issues or issues to be addressed for next year?
A little bit of both. I mean, because it was a conversation when I first got on about the coaching, salary schedule, and so we're just exploring that. It's more research. We gathered information from other districts, and we're just taking a look at it. Like I think I've written to you guys in our Sunday cover, my Sunday notification is just basically we're looking really to the board at this point that we'd like to schedule, I would like to schedule, and so we can prioritize those things that the board wants to prioritize and negotiate agreement moving forward.
Okay. Also on your comment under district logistics and K through 12 admin meetings.
Yep.
You're stating plan and you spoke about the strategic plan and our future work with the long-range planning committee.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're updating the plan and shifting it to 5-year format rather than the annual plan to better focus on our long-term goals. Is the strategic plan a 5-year plan? Or is it the long-range plan? Because that's usually for a longer duration. So what are we doing here?
So the strategic plan as it's currently laid out is it looks like it's a 1-year plan. Most of your strategic plans that I've dealt with are usually over a course of time, 3 years, 5 years sometimes. So we're just exploring that avenue and how we want to approach it. Plus, I think it's better because we're not coming back to the plan every year. I mean, we're coming back to the plan we're not updating the plan every year or rewriting the plan every year. So I think it's the thought process, but right now it's just in conversation. We haven't made any formal moves at this point.
Okay. I do have a couple more questions. I don't know where the note went.
Is my hope the next long-range planning committee will be a topic of conversation. So.
Okay. On the long-range planning committee,
Yeah.
you did, in the review of that, I'm noticing that the focus is again rezoning Garwood and Twin Lakes Elementary.
It is.
Okay, but I have asked repeatedly for several years to look at the district as a whole before we start cherry picking what schools we're going to mess with. The way Garwood was changed the last go around really upset the community. And I don't want to see us put ourselves in that position again.
Yes, ma'am.
Especially just taking the neighborhood out of the middle. It didn't make sense. It didn't seem fluid, reasonable, supportive.
Yes, ma'am.
So if instead of just focusing on 2 schools, if we could look at the boundaries for all the schools before we just immediately think this is our solution for this immediate potential problem, because it's apparently not a problem at the moment. But if we can look at it from a whole view instead of just a 2-school view,
Yes.
I would be much more appreciative of that. And even if the check back in is, look, we looked at all of them, everything looks great, these are 2, that's fine. But to just target 2 schools, I have asked repeatedly, please look at all of the zones.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is one of my asks.
So Chairman Thompson, it was brought to me when I first got the job that there was concerns about growth. Obviously, my assistant superintendent, Massey, was the principal there, and he voiced some concerns in regards to the capacity and the growth.
Right.
And of course, I'm learning the area, and so we had a subcommittee of the long range, and we just we're hyper-focused on that. So this is news to me in regards to looking at the whole picture. By all means, if that's the wishes of the board, we'll do that for you.
That's my wish. What does everyone else think?
I think it
Yeah,
should
we
be.
got in a big mess last time. It was, and the other thing, I think what put us in such a big mess is the community was never consulted.
Right.
You know,
I
so
hear it, yeah.
they, and you know, you're walking into something new. So the long range was actually a facility planning. Somehow we dropped the F in it, but that's fine, whatever. And then the strategic was sort of the annual plan of the facilities, the long-range goals of the district, so that every year strategically, you know, chunks, so to speak, were being taken out of those. But facilities have sort of changed anyways, the way that's being
Yes, ma'am.
handled now, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely agree that we need to be looking at the district as a whole, and then anything that we may anticipate. And then, of course, definitely community feedback, because I think that's really where we got bit, was the
Oh, yeah.
community never was consulted.
So I think you're privy to the timeline, but I don't think it's not in this report, but one of the things we really want to do with the subcommittee is we want to take the long-range planning committee, gets their feedback, because obviously we have multiple people on that committee, and, you know, just pull their feedback. One of the next thing that we'd like to do is to bring it to the board as a discussion item, and then from there, the next step would be that we would go out to the kiddos that, and the parents that we have identified as a possible move to those areas. And so we would personally contact them. We'd have open houses, invite them to Twin Lakes and let them take a look at it. So we're 100%, and our administrative team has made sure that they've made me very aware of that situation, and we were trying to do everything to avoid that. And yes, be a lot of notice to those parents and to those kids, and more importantly, to come and see the school and get their feedback in regards to
I think
that.
Well, there was a protocol written for what needs to happen
Yeah,
at what point throughout the year, so making sure that we're,
Yeah.
I mean, there was work done.
Yes, there
It is
was.
it's on the admin, yeah, I did
Okay.
see that. But I felt like, for my own sake, is to let's have the subcommittee to get, just start digging in the data and bring in transportation and see what they have to say. And it's really great with their program. What's the program again?
Route Finder.
Yeah, Route Finder. We can identify those segments, as you'll, in our presentation. Once we get there, we will show you those areas that we're looking at and options the board can, kind of steam the team on and just get that feedback, so.
I think with the thing, as long as we remain cognizant of being community focused, right? Because the community's just used to these last few years being pretty much involved in everything we're doing.
Absolutely.
And, ultimately, it's going to be their households who will benefit or not, right? Some might have to change, so I think if they at least feel like they've had a seat at the table instead of waiting till the end of something or a decision being made before they were ever consulted,
It's our hope that we will have, bring it to the February board meeting for discussion so we can get the board's feedback on that information. And then from there, we would have open houses at Twin Lakes, invite those kiddos that the board has kind of said, hey, look, this is the area we're looking at. And then we get their feedback, and then we would like to bring it back to the board in March for an approval. That's the plan. But I can obviously change it based off of what the board wants to do. If we want to look at the whole picture, we were just trying to be timely in our notice, because from what I understand from the last time, it was pretty rushed. It was the last minute, and that's the last thing we want to do.
Yeah.
I'd also like to make sure that we're checking on these families that we're going to ask to go back, to go there to see if we moved them over and now we're moving them back.
Yeah.
Because
That's a really good point.
I don't think that's fair.
I agree.
So,
I appreciate your comment.
okay.
Do you think it's something that the board just at one meeting would be able to make a decision, or maybe we need the information beforehand? Or I just think it's a big ask to just decide at a meeting. I don't know. maybe we need a
Well,
more
it
time
was
or
two
workshop
parts.
or?
So remember I said we were just gonna bring it as a discussion item
Mhm.
to let you guys hear what the plan is and take a
Okay.
look at what we're looking at. Maybe give a little discussion guidance on how we'd like to go with, and then we would go to work, get in contact with those parents, bring them in for those school visits, and then from there, we would be able to gather some feedback in regards to that. So then when we come back in March, you guys would have the plan, which we've already given you, and then we would have the community or parent feedback that we'd also present to you to hopefully to make a recommendation and a decision at that point. Does that sound-
Maybe do like a town hall too.
Yeah, we could do, well, that's what I'm really looking for when we bring it to, as a discussion item, is that you guys would kind of give us that guidance, and, yeah, we want your input, absolutely.
Any further discussion on the superintendent report?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Moving on to the assistant superintendent report. Any comments, conversations, or questions?
Nope. Thanks, Jake.
Yes, thank you.
Good job, Jake.
Do you have any questions?
At some point, I think we need a,
Okay, and you're free to just jump in whenever. Okay.
at some point, I think we need a executive session to go over our safety and security, and being that we're into a new
Yeah.
calendar year,
Right,
to see how things are going there too.
yeah. And yeah.
I don't remember when we usually have those, but I know it's sort of after the new year.
Well, can we find out when our last meeting was? Because it is supposed to be annual. And to my knowledge, it might be a little behind on that.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Any other conversations or questions or chit chat? Okay, moving on to the financial report. I do have some questions. Does anybody else have questions?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Okay. Well, first I'd like to ask, can you refresh my memory with what cumulative is?
Cumulative.
Cumulative?
Jessica Grantham, Chief Finance Officer.
Oops, sorry.
Cumulative is the cloud-based version of Skyward, which is our
Okay.
current ERP. This move to Cumulative was kind of forced by the state due to some reporting with IC. So we will go live with that on February 9th.
Okay. And I, just for transparency's sake, Jessica's report has now included an operations update. I had asked when we did agenda planning for the December meeting, if we could start hearing from transportation, just because there have been such significant changes in that department, and wanting to know from its director, how's it going? You know, what problems are you seeing? How can we help, type of a thing. And when I did make this ask, I specifically said I didn't want you to have to do additional work because that wasn't the goal. The goal was actually to hear from the director. And then I was told that you wanted to reformat this to be more of an operational information. But my concern is that, I mean, we hear from facilities because that's what the board asked for.
Right.
And so I don't know, if you're doing operations, then that means you're taking on facilities, et cetera. And I don't know that that's what the board wants.
And I completely understand and respect that. I'm trying to be respectful of the director's time. I meet with them weekly. So we have weekly touch bases. I'm over at transportation once a week. I meet with Tim weekly, with Char weekly, with Chad from IT. It's bi-weekly for him because he's pretty self-sufficient. But I meet with them so much that I'm very in tune to their needs, and so I felt like I was capable of providing that information to the board to be respectful of their time, to not have to come to a meeting after hours.
Okay. Well, I did want to inform the board why there's now this operations update information on there. It's because I asked just to get some input from the transportation director about how the new routes and her new position and her being in that position, et cetera, are going.
Come on up.
Well, she's down the road.
Yeah, exactly.
She's not on this one yet. What is said here in transportation is also on the transportation report.
But are we asking the directors to be here at every meeting? Is that the intent, or?
To my knowledge, that was never the intent.
Okay.
I know that prior administration had always required all sorts of people to come to these meetings. Because of trying to get our facilities department realigned, we had asked for facilities to please check in on a monthly basis. My request was just for transportation to do the same, because it's done a tremendous overhaul within transportation. And, you know, I'd like to know how's everyone responding to the new changes, et cetera. So I wasn't expecting at every single meeting.
Okay.
At least only because I was paralleling it with what we requested for transportation. So
facilities.
Or facilities, yes, thank
Okay.
you.
And I think the issue being in the past, and I get that you're meeting with them every week, but in the past what's happened is there's a loss in translation. What one person thought something was taken care of or meant or whatever, the other person didn't. And then by the time it got to the board, either the board knew nothing about it, or what the board understood was not what the person was conveying. So I think if we hear directly from the person, then it alleviates all of that.
Right.
And then, I mean, also, that's what they were hired for, was to do in that position. And if we need to know, we need to know. And I agree with Michelle that I appreciate everything you do. I don't want to keep adding more to what you're doing.
I already do it. That's the thing. I am in.
Yeah, I would
oversee
still
all
want
the
to hear
operation
from,
departments.
I want to hear from them.
And from the-
because I don't want to go through the same thing again. And our major issue was with facilities. By the time that we got a hold of the information, it
Right.
was
And that
late.
was previous administration, previous CFO.
But that's why we changed it, so
from-
we don't go there again.
Right. From a chain of command standpoint, though, their next step, if they're not getting what they need from me, would be the superintendent. And then it would be
Well,
the board.
it's not a matter of not getting what they need from you. It's just a matter of the board being informed of what's happening. It's not to say that, oh, you're not doing it or they're not doing it, but to alleviate all of that. I mean, you know how it goes when everybody, it's not a matter of, it's so that the board hears from the person, you know, and they're giving us this update, so that's fine too, but I know that's why we moved away from that. So that we had more of a one-on-one with the director of the department.
The only other question that I had was on this one doesn't have any numbers, on the enrollment and attendance report.
Yes.
I just want to clarify, under enrollment, you're showing the total enrollment of 4,626.
Right.
Okay. When we come down to attendance, there's enrollment listed underneath that, and it says 4,669. So I was curious, what do we have enrolled? Because I'm thinking it's the 4626, but I don't know why we're calling out 4669.
I'll double check on the formula on that one.
Oh, okay.
Just to make sure, but I have a sneaking suspicion it might be some of our homeschool dual credit students that are counted in.
Okay.
But I'll double check and bring clarification at the next meeting.
Okay.
And then just as a reminder, this report is a snapshot in time. It's only that one day that you're looking at. So it looks great for attendance, 95% for that day. But it does vary wildly as we get to Friday.
I wasn't questioning the attendance, and I know that we do we're pretty diligent on attendance. I was just trying to resolve the how many
It looks
kiddos
like
do
the
we have
difference is
enrolled?
pre-K.
Yeah,
The enrollment in pre-K is 43.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
You did the math.
So we're including pre-K.
In the 4669, but not in the 4626.
Okay. Is there a reason why we do that? I'm just curious.
I'm gonna defer, I'm gonna get an answer from Kelsey Badger. There is a
okay.
reason behind it. It has
Okay.
to do with whether, how they're accounting them.
Okay.
So I will get an answer for you and provide that at the next meeting.
Perfect. Thank
Yeah,
you.
they're not shown anywhere in the attendance section. So in enrollment, it shows 43, and then total absences by grade shows 43. So everybody in pre-K was apparently absent on
They're not
that
absent,
snapshot.
I don't think they're counted.
They're not counted, is
Yeah,
what I
that's
believe,
why.
but I want to double check before I put
Although
that
it
out.
could have been a day where they weren't there.
No, they were, they do show up. They do show up.
Can I answer that question real quick? From what I understand, pre-K, we don't get ADA on them. So they're not, that's why they're not counted within there.
Okay. Thank you.
I have one question.
Yep.
The cameras, how many cameras do we have left to install and swipe cards?
The key readers, I think we have 2 key readers left.
Left?
Yep. We have about, if I take out the 23 that are just replacements, we have about 40 left to install.
Cameras?
Yep. So we're getting there. We have one person that does the installations, and they do have to work around students to get those done. We're looking on some additional solutions to try and get them all installed before the end of the school year.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
On the Fund 420 plant facility levy spreadsheet,
Yep.
help me understand. We have fiscal year 25 parking lots, and we're listing Athol, Betty Keefer, Twin Lakes, Lakeland, Mountain View, and that's 150,000. But then we're also listing the parking lots individually. What is at 25, 25, 40, 15?
Some of them were to redo the parking lots, and then some was resurfacing. I apologize, I'm trying to scroll to that page.
Okay, it's page 59, I think. Oh, yeah, 60.
60.
Mm-hmm.
So we had it initially. Are you on parking lots for the
Well,
$150,000 line item?
Right, but then right below that, then we start listing Betty Keefer, Twin Lakes, Lakeland High School, Mountain View, and Lakeland Middle School. And those have their own dollar amounts. So I'm just trying to understand, and we've expensed 70,000. And I know that we were doing the restriping and all of that.
That's my fault. I need
Okay.
to fix that. If you look at this, the next page,
Mhm.
we had combined that line item into one.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we had or
Yeah.
hadn't, that's why I
Yeah,
was
no, it was
asking.
combined into one. I just need to
Okay.
fix how it's presented on the cover sheet for
Okay,
it.
perfect. Because I'm like, wow, we're doing a lot to parking lots.
Nope,
What
we're
are we
not.
doing?
We're really not.
We did all we're gonna do.
Okay, that's all my inquiries I had. Anybody else have questions, comments, conversations?
No, but I like the general fund charts. Those are nice.
Thank you.
I like yours, yes.
It's a good line to see.
I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no more questions.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have the facilities report. My only question, you identify a custodial coordinator? Is that a new position?
No.
Okay.
No, that's one that was in the original restructuring of.
Okay. Okay. I just haven't seen it on anything.
Okay. Right. Tim Hague, facility director. Excuse me. So what we did was we went around, met with the building principals and the custodial coordinator and myself, just seeing how things are going.
Okay.
Making sure that we're keeping up, because we've lost 46% of our staffing for the custodials, so we're just trying to make sure we're hitting the key points.
Okay.
What's going on with the HVAC? Is it just because our temperatures have been all over, and which ones? Is it all buildings or?
A lot of buildings.
Okay,
So a lot of our systems run off of the Niagara, where we can actually go on the computer and update temperatures. We can see the whole building and see where temperatures are going. The gyms at Lakeland High School have been very temperamental. We'll set them at 68, but they'll drop to 65. You put them up to 70, they'll go up to 72. So they're just,
oh, really?
it's a large system, so it's get a 3 to 5 degree swing each way. Not like the thermostat here where we can kind of keep it here. You're more of a high and a low.
Now, where are the thermostats at in the gym? Are they at the doors or are they in the middle of the
There's
gym?
3 of them, and they're 1, 2, and then 3 is on this side here.
So they're all at the doors?
They're on walls, not at the door. So they're not getting the cold, which is dropping them. They're getting just the ambient from, let's say, about this high off the ground, which is going to be different than what it is up above as below.
Right.
They're
So
on the schedule for the summer for Lakeland
Yeah.
High School, correct?
there,
Oh.
that's going to be part of the modernization funds.
There's a lot of gaps in those doors.
Exterior doors are also on
That's
the.
on that.
Exterior doors are getting,
Yeah. That should help a lot.
that one door I think has been welded 3 or
Yeah.
4 different times, and it is just not good.
So exterior doors, HVAC, and
Windows?
no
No windows?
Wrestling doors.
wrestling doors. Yep. There was something else over there.
Lakeland High. Roof.
Roof.
Yes.
Yep.
Roof needs repaired?
It needs a
Again.
replacement, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
I thought it was just recently replaced.
Parts, pieces and parts.
It's been
Pieced
piecemeal.
together.
Yeah.
Trying to save money.
TPO,
I was
it
told that it was- all
gets
the roofs were
issues.
replaced. Okay.
We do have a report that we can bring to the board. It shows how the different sections of the roof and what year they were replaced. So we are seeking some information on the warranty for some parts of it because at this point, the recommendation is to replace the entire roof. We didn't budget to replace the entire roof for Lakeland High School. So that's something that we will be bringing to the board to determine what direction you would like us to go in. We are already proceeding on trying to get the warranty pieces for the pieces that are more recent, but the recommendation is to replace the entire roof at this point.
Interesting. Okay.
And that's from a third party.
Yes, we had an independent third party.
Would you like to come on in? You're welcome to join. You're fine.
Oh, you're fine. There's a lot of timeout.
Any further conversation on facilities?
TLE and replacing the boiler.
Yes, that is online.
All
Oh,
It is online.
All 5?
So this is the new boiler system. So if you remember, I brought it to the board that they had that 5-array that was a residential
Residential,
array.
yes.
We got down to 3.5 when I brought it to the board. By the time we switched over, we were down to 1. So it was perfect timing to switch over.
Oh, good.
Wow.
So we didn't lose anything in the process,
The heat.
heat-wise.
So I know that in the past, there's been like places in the building that were really cold. Get teachers or whoever bringing in their little heaters. Do you think that a more efficient will help some of that, or do we still have those spots that are, you know,
So
really
the
cold?
system it's a pressurized system, so you'll get, it should be a constant temperature throughout. Teachers, I think, do have some control that will control dampers as opposed to individual heaters.
Yeah.
So there is some of that, but like I said, that one will be on the Niagara system, so we can
Okay.
pull it up as a whole. And we look at every single room and make sure that they're all within a degree or 2 of each other. And then if the teachers do have an issue, they have no problem letting us know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the bathrooms, like the admin bathroom or so. I don't even know if there was a vent in there. But,
I haven't heard anything about that one.
yeah. Well, good, that's done and working, yay.
No, she's not.
She
I know.
We were looking to see if Tiffany was here.
Yeah, I thought she was too at one point, but I have no further questions.
Okay,
Anyone
thank
else?
you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And then the transportation report.
It has been a long day.
Our Summer I'll let her introduce herself.
Summer Bilski, Director for Transportation.
She got up at 3 o'clock this morning as part of our Snow Scout process, so she is very tired.
Okay,
Long day.
I understand that.
Okay. Thank you. So right now we are fully staffed. Hooray. We still are our assistant director from Post Falls, and we are very, very happy with him.
Good.
He knows the routes almost better than I do, and I love that. So I can just hand it all over to him. So we're very excited about that, and we're trying to train our new people coming in. We're trying to get more people coming in for sub-driving. We're short, always short. It's been a challenge and still a challenge to keep, but we're plugging along, trying to get everything situated with where they are though.
Okay.
One of the things that Summer did implement when she became the director, everybody in the office is trained to drive. So yesterday, Summer was the only one in the office because we had our admin and our assistant director out driving because we didn't have enough subs. So
Okay.
And we shift off, because to me that's not fair, so I drive too.
yes.
And we just do it how we do it. So everything is covered as best we possibly can.
Good for you.
No one is overwhelmed.
Good for you.
So, trying to do that. We got our 4 new buses.
Okay.
Yay! We're very excited to get them on the road. But they're beautiful. They're, I don't know.
They're diesel.
Yes, they're diesel, which is great. But we just kind of picked the people that was going to get them. So we go by mileage of their own buses.
Okay.
And we ask them if they want a new buses. Some of the old school people don't want it, but we just nudge them. But it's beautiful. It's great. It's going to last forever. but, you know, sometimes there's pushback, but they're okay. It'll be okay.
How are the new routes going? How were implemented?
Well, the new one that is being built is almost done.
Okay.
Our intention is, I put it up for bid this week and making a decision by Friday. So my intention is to get everything starting to work on and it up and running by the 20th of January. So that'll make a whole bunch of people up there very happy. But it'll take us a while for us to then put it from our test server into our actual live database, and then to now explain that and send out paperwork, send out alerts, send out everything to the families that need that, to let them know that this route is coming and this is now the times that they're going to get picked up and all that good stuff. So
Part of the delay on that was getting someone in and trained for their CDL. That person did pass their CDL over the Christmas break. So we're finally able to get that one up and rolling.
Good.
she's not going to get that route, but seniority. So, but she will get the route that someone else is getting. So she will be replacing that other person. So we will still be fully staffed, and that will be amazing for a lot of people. So we're very excited about that.
Thank you for all your work that you're
Yes.
doing over there and for your passion for transportation. Thank you.
Yes, for sure.
One of the things I would love to brag on Summer about that didn't make it into this because the food drive that she hosted was not done by the time we were supposed to meet in December. Summer organized a food drive and they collected
A little bit over $4,500 worth of food and donations
to support our Mountain View students.
from Mountain View. It was going to be for food bank until one of the meetings we found that there was a need for some of the students there and they were homeless and they needed all this stuff from Mountain View, so we shifted everything. I was like, no, we're gonna take our own first,
And so Monteview got all of that love, so.
So all the
Thank
schools
you.
participated.
Yes,
Yep, and-
majority of the schools.
Yep, and Timberlake High School was the winner.
Yes. So I held a small little contest to help, get participation, and Timberlake High School was amazing. I think they did it by poundage, so those students ended up weighing their food, and it was about 1,500 pounds of food that we had to collect in about an hour. So it was on the last day, and I was like,
And
what?
you didn't even notice either. You
Right,
just had to go
I
get it.
thought we were done. We gave everything to Monteview, and they said, hey, don't forget about us. I said, hey, you didn't tell me you were participating. And so we took one of our buses, loaded some people up, grabbed it all up from them, took it back, and gave it to Monteview before the break, in hopes that they could just shift it out and give it to everyone, so they can have food before the break.
So Summer has a great transportation passion, but she also has a passion for the district as a whole, and that just highlights. I just commend her so much for taking on that initiative on top of all the other fun stuff that she's dealing with on a daily basis.
Yep.
So
We're gonna expand that though. There's a lot of things that I didn't know what was happening until after the fact. So I know that there's something going on in Spirit Lake that funds from the fire department.
Okay.
And all that funding goes to families. We want to do that too. So we're, as transportation, going to go in depth into some of these communities and do that too.
Thank you.
I love that. That's
That
great.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you for coming tonight. I do appreciate it.
Welcome.
I'm
Now go
sorry that
home
you
and
got
go
up
to
at
bed.
3.
Yeah.
I want to. I had no coffee today.
Coffee?
No, I had no creamer, so I came to work with cocoa, and that was not enough.
I thought it was a directive from Jess, that's all.
No.
no, I don't
I would
take
be
people's
sucking down that
beverages.
Yes.
You can bet.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Get that
you
woman
so
some
much.
creamer so she doesn't have to go without.
Coffee tonight. Tomorrow.
Thank you, Summer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Take care, baby.
All right, moving on to the consent agenda. We have minutes from the previous meeting, minutes of subcommittee meetings to be accepted, and HR items, and the bills list. I would like to go over the regular board meeting minutes. There are some corrections that need to be made. Oh, that's what that was, okay. On the 11:19 minutes, you listed for the action item number 3, accounts payable job description. It was listed motion to approve contingent changes by trustee Bain. What were those changes? Can those please be identified in the motion?
I'll have to go back and relook at the
Okay.
notes, but yeah, I can do that.
Perfect. And then on budget revision,
On the same,
number 5, motion to approve the step increase for all employees. Can't make this thing move. There we go. Except first newly hired, retroactive to the next paycheck by trustee Bain. This was actually not, the budget revision was specific to classified staff, not every single employee. So could you please go back and listen to that motion and actually put it verbatim? Because the motions are supposed to be verbatim, because this is a legal document and can be used in court. And then the same with the specificity was just with classified staff. I cannot make that thingy. so now I have markers but no notes. Great. This program.
Well, on number 9, there isn't the person that did the motion. It doesn't list the person that did the motion, it just shows the second.
Oh, table pending more information,
Mhm.
yeah.
And I believe this is the video, because I went back to watch it for something. I was gonna look in the transcript, but for some reason YouTube didn't transcribe this one, which I thought was weird. All the other ones had a transcript. So I don't know if maybe when it was uploading or, so maybe being that you have to go pull it anyways, maybe you can look and see what the.
I don't know how the transcripts for YouTube work. I don't
Yeah, I don't know if it's
input anything for it, it just automatically does it.
Yeah, there's usually a check. Yeah, I don't know why it did that. Because the video played fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I
anyways.
have no idea how those work.
Under possible action items from item K, number 1, my motion was not to approve the application for Turning Point USA / Club America. It was specific to just, I motion to approve Club America.
Yeah.
So you can't add to the motions. If you can go back, I watched the video because I was kind of shocked. I'm like, did I say that? So I went back and rewatched.
I apologize,
the
I
video.
was just going based off of that, but I can do that.
Well, yeah, when we're identifying what the motions are, they do need to be verbatim.
Would it be easier for you guys to email me these beforehand?
No, it has to be done in public because these are, I mean, we're disclosing these to the public. And so.
I was just thinking so that I can update them before I bring them to a board meeting. That'd be easier.
Well, actually, the conversation has to occur in an open meeting because that's the only time we're allowed to have conversation. Because someone else may be like, no, I recall I said this, that, or the other, and then it prompts discussion amongst the board, which is what this is about. But again, I'm just reiterating, the motions have to be verbatim. They can't be summaries. And I did not state Turning Point USA / Club America. Okay. And that's it for the 11/19 meetings, minutes. On the 12/3/25 special board meeting, when we talked about the legal services FRQ, the notation that you wrote was discussion on publication and Coeur d'Alene Press spokesman review. But I recall specifically asking for us to fish in the south because there's more law firms down south.
It was also to put in the publication for that too. That was part of our discussion, was putting that publication. But I can add to the south too.
Okay, that would be great because it doesn't state that. And since you identified those two, I just, I want to make sure that we're acknowledging the fact that we're trying to go as broad as we can, not just.
It does say, and outreach to law firms statewide.
Okay,
Did you still want me to add southern?
I do, because
Okay.
it's in, yes, down in the south would be great, because that was actually what I had said. And I don't know if anybody else has any other questions or comments on the minutes of the previous meetings.
I do not.
Okay. Anything on the minutes of the subcommittee meetings? Is there, could we possibly get the long-range planning committee, instead of having the agenda as their minutes, can we just do like a summary of the minutes, like we do for our meetings? Would that be possible? I know we've asked in the past, specifically, I've asked many times.
Just remember.
No, I understand that.
Yeah,
I understand that.
So you're looking, I just want clarification. So you want a summary of the minutes of the long-range planning committee?
I just want minutes. What we get is the agenda.
Okay.
And so if we can just have the minutes like we get,
Yes,
that
ma'am.
would be great.
I don't think that'll be a problem.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we have any other comments or questions on the subcommittee meeting minutes to be accepted? We have the HR items. We have the HR memo, resignations, and applications. Any comments, conversations, anything we need to discuss on those?
I do not.
Okay.
No.
Okay. We have the bills list, or the bill list. Do we have any questions, comments? Any conversation to be held on these?
No, and I'm assuming that none of the resignations or any of those people did exit interview. I don't have any comments or anything.
HR Director Cunningham, I know that you've clued us in many a times, but on the exit interviews, what is that process?
So there is a form that is in our admin handbook. It is an exit form, and that exit form has everything in there that buildings are supposed to, like, get back their keys
Right.
and their badges, and it informs them that they're entitled to an exit interview, and they can schedule that with me if they want to do so. And so today, there was just a reminder, actually, in our K-12 meeting, to please use that form, to please
Okay.
be getting it to them, because I think it was just kind of through changes and transitions, I think it was forgotten.
Okay.
And so anyways, it was reminded today to please, you know, give that form to their
Okay.
employees to notify them that they can schedule that with me.
Okay.
Do they receive that form, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Do they receive the form electronically or paper?
So it's a paper form,
Oh.
and they're supposed to actually, the employee's supposed to sign, they're supposed to check off that these items were returned, that they were given knowledge of the exit interview and stuff like that.
Oh, I meant the exit interview form, is that electronic? Or?
It's a
Okay.
hard copy that gives to them hard copy.
No,
And then it's supposed to be scanned to me.
No, the
It's in person with
Oh,
Brooke.
yeah, they can do it either way. There's a form I can give them, they can fill it out, or they can do it in person with me, whatever they're comfortable
Okay.
with.
All right. I just didn't know. I know before, and I think we got one time, and it was
It was,
Excel spreadsheet or something?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
yeah. And I mean, if I can start sending that one out again, I did find that I had a lot of people that were uncomfortable with that form.
Yeah.
So,
That's fine, whatever. I mean,
I
I'm
mean,
just
it's
always
whatever the board would
curious.
like, you know.
I'm just curious. I mean, sometimes they put it in their resignation, you know, whatever their.
Yeah, they're usually pretty clear in their resignations.
But I like the feedback if we can get it, but anyways, thank you, Brooke. I don't have anything else.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Anything on the bills?
Nope.
Nope. Move to approve the consent agenda with the adjustments or corrections to the meeting minutes as discussed.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moving on to the action items. Recall of file. Okay. Key Club trip is back before us. It came before, but it was not clear. Do we have any conversation we'd like to have on the Key Club application to go to Portland.
Can't go to a different city.
Well, no.
That's where the events
Things we
happen.
don't control.
Sorry.
I move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moving on to supplemental curriculum. Okay. Introduce yourself.
Jake Massey, Assistant Superintendent.
Hello. Questions on the Keys and Kingdom music program?
Yes.
Okay. At the elementary level, this board removed computers from the classrooms, that they're only supposed to be used for state-required testing. And now we want to bring them back into the classroom for a music program?
I completely respect the question. And if you'll recall the teacher letter that's attached there, and I think that this teacher articulated her stance very, very well and pretty respectfully.
Absolutely, it was very respectful.
Yeah, we remember and respect that directive from the board and even appreciate that direction. We understand that the best teacher of kids is highly qualified teachers and not digital programs. That said, we had a music teacher in one of our elementary schools who encountered an opportunity where, along with adopting this program, they can gain access to a classroom set of 30 actual physical MIDI keyboards. And so that is a learning tool that's pretty expensive. Frankly, it's out of reach, and right now there's an opportunity kind of through I might be misspeaking, but almost like a promotional deal for if we try this program for a year, this is an additional benefit that we get. And so it's mainly that reason why the school, I believe, is interested in using this program. So I do want to add, and I'm sure you have all read the recommendation already, but because we also want to be respectful of that boundary of time on computers, we're recommending just a pilot of this program for the remainder of the year, so that we're not setting the expectation that it's something that will continue indefinitely.
What school's requesting this?
Garwood Elementary.
Okay. So what is the cost for this program?
I believe the cost is about $2,500. One of the reasons why I felt compelled to bring this forward, even though we did have some discussion just at the district level of whether this is something that we want to do or not, is because we have so many parents in that community that actually want to support this. At this point, the cost would be entirely covered by their parent-teacher organization. And it is something that they are requesting for their kids as well.
So in requesting it as a pilot, you're saying it's approximately $2,500, and that PTO is going to pay for it, or PTA, or PTU, or whatever we call them?
Yes.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful, because I know we have many different organizations and they call themselves many different things. What happens next year?
Well, in my understanding, what happens next year is we remain in possession of these keyboards. That is a legitimate musical instrument that students will benefit from having instruction around. Whether or not we decide to stick with the program is something that we would look to the board for direction on, and even have conversation with the teacher about, has it proven to be effective as a supplemental tool in the classroom.
But it's another online program that we'd have to pay subscription-wise, correct?
If we chose to continue it, yes.
Okay. Any other further discussion on what was presented?
I have nothing.
So we could purchase 30 keyboards, MIDI Plus, for about $1,200, $1,300, we'll see. If that truly is the goal, is just to have the keyboard, you know, I mean, that would be the cost of the keyboard, and then it would belong to the district or Garwood, or I assume Garwood, since that's where they would be purchased for, would be for Garwood. That would be my only, my only concern is if we start making concessions on one, then we get into concessions on other things, and although this is more from a game perspective, you know.
These are connected to computers as opposed to synthesizers?
That's correct.
Yeah, it's a software.
Yeah, so very accessible for classroom use, minimal setup or technology required. Yeah, purpose-built to be an instructional tool.
So it's, if we went forward, the $125 is annual membership and gives 25 keyboards. You at Chrome, so they go with Chrome, but they do not support Android. Okay, but they give them an iOS adapter, which means there must be some Apple component to it. Anyways, I have no other input. I mean, if they truly are looking just to implement some type of a music program, maybe that would be the better approach. I haven't looked, but I'm sure that there's gaming and music theory or all of that out there somewhere.
I just struggle with the direction of the board having been to remove the computers. And then the pushback was they have to have them for testing. So we conceded, yes, they can use them for testing. And now if we're taking steps to put them back in the classroom, on top of the fact that legislation is actually now pushing against them being in the classroom, so who knows where we're going with that. It bothers me that we're wanting to pilot this, because what you're telling me is you're wanting to bring the computers back into the classroom.
You're right. This would require the use of Chromebooks, and you know, I mean, I think I've articulated this. This isn't really about the Chromebook side of things so much.
I understand.
But we also understand and respect the direction of the board.
Okay. Any further conversation or discussion to be had? No.
There is an option for Wi-Fi, it looks like. Can you have the computers outside the classroom and have Wi-Fi to the MIDI keyboards? That would still violate the intent.
The intent was to limit the screen time,
Yeah.
to go back and reduce the screen time that the children are on, because they're on it a lot.
If they could be outside the classroom, if the computers weren't in the classroom.
We used to have computer labs, which actually controlled I think more so how much exposure the kids were on computers, but we got rid of computers, the computer labs, to go to one-on-one. And it was my understanding that we can't bring the computer labs back. So
Those rooms are full of kids at this point.
that's right.
Which we're grateful for.
Which, you know, academics.
Yep.
I would move to approve the elementary book set list and Bernice bobs her hair.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I
Moving on.
would say that if they want a music program and they want the keyboards, then let's see if we can find a solution to implement the music program with the keyboards. I know.
Yeah, that would be dynamic.
Thank you, Trustee Chris.
Yep.
Moving on to policies. We have 1110 elections, 1120 taking office, 1120P oath of office, 1130 resignation, 1140 vacancies, 5100 hiring process and criteria, and that's it. We did have first read last go round. There was one policy.
And what was the change, just the statute change or?
On the elections, there was some language within the statute that changed.
Okay.
And those changes, if you scroll beyond, the red lettered is behind it. Took me a minute to find it, but it's
Yeah.
there. I think it was this one, wasn't it? Talking to myself.
And the corrections that Trustee Bain requested last time were implemented into those. We should reflect those that you requested.
So, on the bottom of, let me make sure I'm on the right one here, yep. 1120 P, well, that was a draft, okay. Okay, so there was a change for statute 59402, changed to oath of office, but oath of office is the title of the section. 59402 is actually what it says, time of taking oath. So it probably needs to be reverted back. 402 is
59
Statute.
Idaho Code.
Yeah,
Yeah.
statute,
It's-
under the legal references.
right, yeah.
At the bottom of the page.
The other one is
Time of taking oath is the
Right.
title of that section.
Gotcha.
questions, comments on the policies? I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, it's funny because it was time of taking oath originally, and it was changed to oath of office.
Yeah, that was probably my doing.
That was the meeting Robin and I,
Was it?
that was the meeting Robin and I.
Oh, okay.
Policy meeting.
Okay.
Just looking really familiar.
I don't know where they went. All right, well, if there is no further discussion or conversation to be had on the policies, I'll entertain a motion at this time.
I'll move to approve the policies with the corrections noted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
4 in favor, 1 opposed. Motion carries. Did you have any other conversation you wanted to have on the policy, Samantha?
Well, someday I'll make it to a committee meeting if we can change it to another day. There's just, yeah, I have a lot of conversation, but I'll save it for another time.
Okay. Last action item is the school closure on 12/17/25. It's the certificate of emergency closure. Do we need to have any conversation on this?
It was
It was
done.
It was a long win.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moving on to discussion items. First item is IVB.
Madam Chair, we've not met since, since we posted this. We do have our next meeting scheduled for January 22nd. Again, as I mentioned earlier, we're hoping to put items on the board agenda for at least the PST team, so we can start looking through some of the things that the board wants us to focus on, and hopefully to bring kind of a rough draft to our IBB team and be able to move forward and hopefully limit conflicts and more importantly to get the board's wishes denoted and implemented.
Okay, thank you. Okay, on the removal of 3330 F1, F2, and F3, this is, oh, here we go. Hang on. Okay, policy 3330 is student discipline. And if you'll recall, those forms were brought to the board with changes back in October. And then we sent them back to, or was it November? I don't remember. But they came, was it October? And then they were sent back to policy committee. And actually, this was a meeting Bob Jones attended. And the recommendation is that because it's a written statement form of behavioral support plan and a temporary notice of suspension, that those forms aren't necessarily on the website. So because they're more procedural based, the control of those forms should be within the district's hands, and to remove them from the policies and procedures.
Okay.
And respectfully, I mean, what bothers me is what was uploaded wasn't what we had the last time. These are the old forms. Because the behavioral support plan has the prior superintendent's name on it, not Rusty Taylor's. And the one we were working on in policy committee, there was red letters for Rusty Taylor. And I'm like, that doesn't have to come to committee. But that wasn't the only change. We had to check boxes.
I just uploaded the current ones that are currently on our website.
Okay. All right. So those, that was the request, and kind of the consensus within the committee meeting was that to ask the board if they would agree that those, because they're procedural forms, to let it fall back into the hands of administration and take them off the website so that we're not monitoring them.
I do agree, because a lot of times we modify, especially the behavioral support plan, if we've, so a lot of times we're modifying that, so if somebody reads this and sees this, that this is the rules I have to follow, no, you have a different, so I think that's a good plan, is to.
Okay. The only thing that I can stress repeatedly is do not return the word contract to behavioral support. It's a plan. It's not a contract. Please don't put that on there. Make it a plan.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So Sierra, it's okay to take those down off the website.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
And then we have the search and seizure policy for discussion.
So that discussion item was an action item, because we just gave action without an action item.
And we didn't vote on it.
Well, I give her direction.
Yeah, well, I disagree with the direction.
Okay.
I'll say that. We can't give action on, so if we need to take action, then it needs to come under an action item.
You are correct.
And if
So this could be
tied-
like the first read, and then the next time it
Right,
comes
right.
back, it would
This
be.
was the second read, so we'll go to the third read.
Oh,
and
true.
we will
Yeah.
Would you
And-
like to utilize that for the possible action items from the discussion on the bill?
No, I've actually asked for that to be removed because we can't do that.
And then we probably should look at the policy that these are referring to also, instead of just the forms that went with the policy.
Okay.
So we have a complete picture of what we're looking at.
So you want policy 33330, is that what you want?
Yeah, if that's the
Well, and
ones.
I do think that the policies that the committee actually did work on, that came first to the board and then were sent back for further clarification, modifications. We did actually do further work, and then it was concluded that maybe because these are procedural, let's not. So I think the work that the committee did do should come back before the board, and then we can vote on whether we want to remove them. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, because what they're referring to is, I mean, I understand they are modified or what have you, and it can be noted that they're a template or whatever,
Right.
but the particular action that brings about the form is literally the board's form and the board's policy by statute.
Okay.
Discipline of the student is something the board does or is in.
Correct.
Right, so I think that we should look at the totality of the whole thing, and if we need need to modify or notate or something, you know,
Yeah, no, that sounds reasonable.
because we did have the issue with the contract
Yeah.
multiple times, yeah, and it
Yeah.
wasn't, it's not a contract.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and schedule this to come back from discussion to an action item at our next meeting. Moving on to 3370, search and seizures. On the clean format that was provided, the draft, there is a couple of strike-throughs that were overlooked.
Yeah, we
okay.
noticed that the last policy we do.
Okay. So this is a first read. there were a lot of changes. And then this did go before Megan. Megan did make recommendations, and so the recommendations were utilized within the policy.
Okay, but we don't have her recommendation.
We do.
I
It's
see.
It's at the bottom.
Yeah, in
I got
blue,
it. I didn't understand.
which used to be for ISBA.
Yeah.
Now it's for legal.
And why did this come to policy committee? What was the,
In all fairness, this has been a work in progress for quite some time. I'd say maybe a year and a half. The reason being we needed to add
breathalyzer?
Information about breathalyzing and information about metal detection logs. Because we didn't have any policy to support either one, yet we were doing them. This policy was roundtabled with
I remember that.
SROs.
I thought we
Yeah.
had finished it, that's why I
Well,
was asking why.
Yeah, no, it got backburnered. It went to Megan, it sat with her forever and a day, then it came back. So then we're like all constantly having to refresh us. Now where are we?
Right.
So we pushed through it with Megan's recommendations and a relating of what is she saying and where does it go?
Yeah, because didn't we have a letter too about the breathalyzers that were supposed to go in the student handbook?
Funny thing you mentioned that. We worked on the breathalyzer form, which when we were going through it, it was kind of like reiterating the intent to Rusty, because he did sit in on that meeting at the end. The intent from the board was informational. I mean, like, we need to inform parents, this is what's going on. So we kind of got hung up on the form because it's like, well, what's the form for? And then we're identifying, and so that form should be coming to us at our next board meeting, because we worked through it, but of course the board can do whatever it wants with it. If shouldn't be a form, it should be more of an informational letter or informational.
Right, a notification. It was supposed to go in the student's handbook, and that way when we have the signature of the parent and the student, then that is their notification that they were told. Because that was the thing last time, remember? Part of admin thought that it was in the handbook, part thought that somebody was getting notified, and then come to find out
It was
nothing.
Nothing was being done. And that was kind of the hang up on the form, was because the way the form was drafted, we had to, my suggestion was, given that the policy is open, that it can be wherever, whenever, however, but the reality is there are 2 specific events that one high school breathalyzes at. Well, then now we have to make it so that 2 high schools are breathalyzing at those events, because you can't do it with just one and not the other, because then there's a bias created, and there's all sorts of fun stuff. So then we identified the 3 events, one for here, there, and then prom is universal. So, I'm sorry, you winked and I was.
Oh, no, Jody was leaving, so I
I'm like, why are you winking at me? Which
I was
you weren't, because you were looking past me. No, I know, I'm like, threw me off my game, not a problem. So that became kind of the crux of the dilemma within the form, because is it a form? And then I'm like, no, the board's intent was to make sure parents were informed
Aware of.
that
Yeah.
this is going on.
Right.
So the work that was done, it will be coming to us. We can scrap it, we can make it become something completely different. I would like to let you know we spent a lot of time on it because we couldn't, like, what are we trying to accomplish here? So, yeah.
Yeah, I think anytime we're looking at a policy, I would like to see any forms that relate to it.
Yeah, that's
kind
how
of like
it's supposed to be.
Vice Chair Grissom had mentioned about, the other one having all the forms but not having the policy. So anytime that something's coming to us, that we have all related forms and procedures and everything, so we can kind of not necessarily all of the ones that are referenced in it, but just the ones that are directly related to,
that are kind of tethered to it.
Yep.
And then the last one was school-sponsored student activities, which this one also added breathalyzing language to it. And I think even, before I speak, we should check. And there is no wanding on this one, but there is the breathalyzer test. But wanding, it's my understanding, is specific to if we have reasonable suspicion to need to do a search. So, and I don't know that we search at school-sponsored student activities.
Unless we have a reasonable suspicion.
We're not just doing it willy-nilly?
Please, no.
Spot checking once in a while?
Up and down all the kids.
The other thing I noticed too is we went back to this LJSD, abbreviation, which is fine, but nowhere in the policy do we ever identify what LJSD is. So unless somebody has that information, like on that one you're talking about, the 3410, we have Idaho High School Association or Activities Association, but then we did IHSAA, so every time we use it.
Right.
But I noticed that in the other ones too, we use LJSD, but it's never.
We should only use the abbreviation after it's been
identified
in its full form with the abbreviation.
Right.
Well, and I despise, just so you know, I despise abbreviations anywhere. Yeah.
TLAs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather have the language, the full language.
Been watching them all go by and trying to figure out what some of them mean.
With the alphabet soup.
Yeah, and we used to
What
have
flavor
a
is
cheat
that
sheet
alphabet
at once upon a time that had a lot of acronyms.
It would update every month, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Any further conversation on 3410 that is under discussion? Excuse me.
We only have, oh, I see, that's it. Only one reference, huh?
Yeah. Which I would think we should have the search and seizure policy identified on this as well.
Right. Yeah, and some of the other, just so they know that they may be subject to these things if they're partaking.
Right.
Did you hear that? Okay.
Yeah, I got that right now.
If there's no further discussion on the two policies, is there any possible, or no, we go down to dates to remember. Okay. appropriate of the PST committee meeting on January 8th, policy committee January 12th, long range planning committee the 15th, Martin Luther King Jr. Day on the 19th, and the regular board meeting on the 21st.
Madam Chair, I'd like to remind you again, I moved the January 8th PSC meeting to the 22nd, and the long-range planning committee also was just the 14th.
Oh, okay.
Just for 14th.
So dates have been adjusted.
So the January 14th for,
Long-range planning,
okay, and,
and then the 22nd for PSC.
okay.
Yes.
Oh,
22nd.
PST, yeah. Yeah.
What is
PST.
Problem solving team.
That's
Oh, okay.
It's right after the time, so.
Right after Pacific
Yeah.
Standard Time.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, there was another acronym, we got rid of that one, so with the help of Ms. Rabbit. So.
There was other letters in there. Names,
I tried to figure out something else. I'm with you on the acronyms, man.
Wrestling.
No, I'm just looking at my calendar.
No, I know. Got a wrestling event that
Probably.
conflicts. Probably. Okay. All right. So on that note, is there any future agenda items?
Did anybody else get an email requesting that we do district calendars earlier?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
I think I understood why or what they were saying, but I think they don't, we're sort of stuck by how the school districts run, but also by legislature.
Okay.
You know, being able to, you know, we wait on them every year in case something changes and we have to update a calendar or add a day or take days away or,
Well,
you know.
I am curious, because we do our calendars for 2 years in a row.
Well, we just started doing that.
Okay. So,
And then we go back and update them.
yes, we do.
Yeah.
We have done that. When are we slated to do the district?
We're starting to work on it right now.
For when would that be presented? For when?
LJSD, and again, you guys can chime in if you want, but February was being a little early, not the first, but the second meeting maybe? Third? I'm just looking at you in the past. Rick, I'm sorry.
Hop on it. I like the boots, they're cute.
Thank you.
Yeah, I told you that.
HR Director, Brooke Cunningham, and also other duties as assigned as helping with the calendar. So actually, it's been a couple of years since we did the 2 years in a row because you guys we were making those changes. So last year, I mean, we only did 1 year. So
Okay.
right now, it would be the 26, 27 calendar we are working on. We do get patrons that reach out because I do have other school districts that do theirs like 2 years in a row
Right.
and then just tack on. And then we typically present that calendar to you guys in April or May for approval.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of it, like
Okay.
you're saying, April and May.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were, in the past, the state required us to have them due to them. It was like a time towards the end of May. They don't require that, but now they're requesting for us to at least, upon request, to go ahead and submit it to them if they need to see it.
Okay. So is there a possibility, maybe not for this year, but within the protocols of doing school calendars, that we can maybe stage it so that we are able to produce it earlier?
Let's see how we can
You
do
know,
that.
I would love if we could actually go back to having two years in a row, because the changes that we have made that we've had to bring back to you to vote on, they've been minor, and a lot of families are trying to plan like their vacations, especially split families. They're trying to plan their vacations for spring break and for Christmas and all that. So, and then they're booking plane tickets a year in advance if they're going on vacation. And so I do get that request a lot, and I think that's more accommodating to our public and to our parents and our kids if we can plan ahead. And then if we do have to make minor changes and tweaks, that we just bring it back to the board. That's just, how I feel. But
Well, 1 year we had a it was kind of a Mickey Mouse show, and people were very confused about what the school calendar was,
Yeah.
because there were so many changes.
Yeah.
But I guess, from an outside perspective, if you know how to put two calendars together, why don't you put two calendars together and being prepared? Wouldn't that be, because if we're just releasing one calendar every year, but you have the second calendar already prepared, so that the next year you're actually doing, so you're actually preparing a
Right.
year ahead of time.
Right,
Could-
exactly.
could we not do
Oh,
that?
yeah, for sure, and
The
I,
districts I come from, I'm sorry, Director, I come from, this is gonna be a practice, I'm glad you guys are talking about it. Yeah, we would always do 2 years, so I.
Well, we did too, but it became an issue.
And if this is what
Yeah.
the board wishes, in which I'm hearing you, where I think we're on the same page, so.
It
I don't
doesn't-
know about that,
Oh,
because
I'm sorry. Then
what I was
apologize.
saying was, you can still prepare two calendars, 2 years, but we're going to only adopt the upcoming year. But because you planned to, when you go the next year, you're already ahead of the game.
right,
So-
and usually I do have a plan for at least 2 years. I'm sitting in my folder. We just have not been bringing 2 years to you
Right.
guys.
Right.
But I can, when I do have people call and everything, I'm usually able to give them an estimate
Yeah.
off of things, but they want to be able to see it on the website, so.
No,
We
and
could post, could we do like a tentative
Or draft calendar.
draft calendar? And then, once it's approved, once we've approved it and adopted it for that, then we could,
For the second year?
You know, I would be hesitant.
yeah.
Okay.
I'd be hesitant because I've actually had people call and upset because we did make a change in I think it was in a Christmas vacation, and they had booked their vacation, and then we changed it, and then they were really upset. And so I would be hesitant to put I could say, we could put a draft out there and say this is subject to change, you know.
My only caution with the whole thing, it wouldn't matter to me, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, but as much as the legislature's been changing stuff, and it looks like they have a full plate of education changes coming, that was my only caution, because we can't even make a budget until the last minute.
Right.
You know, because we never know
We don't know what
what's
their
gonna
calculations
change,
are
you
gonna
know?
be, yeah.
But I think as far as like the Christmas and Thanksgiving and, all that pretty much is, and we've always started after Labor Day. Trying to think all of that is pretty much the only thing that might change is like in-school training, development
Curriculum days.
or,
Right.
Yeah, I just wish we could give them, we could tell them that much, I guess. I don't know that those things, that 1 year, we did have to change the Christmas vacation. The other thing was if we get a lot of snow, remember didn't we run out of the snow days 1 year? Or we were down?
We
to-
thought we were going to, but then it
Yeah.
ended up, we had like an extra 2 days
Yeah.
that we
Budgeted in, but
had,
didn't use.
didn't realize that
Yeah.
I don't know what, anyways, that's,
Well, thank you.
I had gotten the email and I didn't
Yeah,
know, I
I
never
got
know
one
if they send one to each of us or,
I got it too.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I'll answer.
okay, perfect, all right, thank you,
Thank you, Brooke.
thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, did we have any input for future agenda items? Oh. You brought it to my attention about creating a policy, like the Meade School District.
Yeah. It's actually, Meade School District adopted a policy where employees of the district cannot talk about personnel or personal, hold on, I gotta find it real quick.
Restrict staff from expressing personal beliefs. in
Yeah,
the
personal
classroom.
beliefs in classrooms.
Decor, clothing, communications, blah, blah, blah. I guess we'd have to look it up.
Yeah, I got a copy of it somewhere.
Well, do you want to add that for future
Yeah.
agenda items for discussion?
Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
great.
Anybody else have anything they want to add? Not that I can think of right now. Alrighty, on that note, I need a motion to enter into executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 742061B.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We need a roll call vote.
Trustee Bain?
Yes.
Trustee Parada?
Yes.
Chair Thompson?
Yes.
Trustee Quimby?
Yes.
Vice Chair Grissom?
Yes.
Okay, on that note, it is 7:56. We will recess for 10 minutes and then come into executive session. Okay, so we have come out of executive session. The time is 9:46. I'll entertain any motions at this time.
I move that we not accept the resignation of Personnel A and that a letter be sent to the Idaho Professional Standards Board regarding such.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. On that note, that concludes tonight's meeting, and it is 9:47. We're adjourned.